Alright, now we are starting phase 4 of the Dragrace game. So we have Ray in lane 2 and Ek in lane 1. Ray has a 225 horsepower 1963 Studebaker Lark 2-door and negative $1,206 in savings. The car is valued at $2,415, so the net worth is $1,209 and has won 5 races. Ek is driving a 230 horsepower. Okay, so if you remember from phase 3, it was actually 235 horsepower. What happened is the game said the displacement and you have chosen an ineligible horsepower and displacement. So I couldn't guess a horsepower that would work. The horsepower for that displacement was the only ones that I found were in the 300 horsepowers, like 315 or something. I think 325 was one. And so I went to keep the horsepower the same, or as close as I could get, and the closest I could get was 230 horsepower, and I don't remember the displacement, but it is not 389. Oh, it's 250. It says right here, 250. Okay, so it is a 230 horsepower 1963 Pontiac Catalina. Okay, so they're both 1963s. 2-door with negative $1,542 in savings. The car is valued at $2,760 and the net worth is $1,218 and has won 7 races. Pressing enter. So if we do modify, nothing happens. It's the same as choosing race it as is. So we cannot make modifications. I don't know why. Oh look, Ray has now moved to negative $924. So that's interesting. Alright, the only thing that we can do is look at used cars, but since, as far as I remember, this was a phase 4 thing, that the change in the car from a 235 horsepower to a 230, we haven't actually raced them. So I'm going to do race. Actually, I can show you that modify doesn't work. We can do modify on both. Look, modify, enter, and now we have moved on to Ek. So I'll do modify and we'll just race. Lane 1, programmed to shift at 5,500 RPM. Lane 2 at 6,200. And they're off. I've run this race before, but I don't remember who wins, so I'm with you watching this basically for the first time. And I just realized that because I had to start this over, I need to do Control F12. And I don't know the last time I was on here, but I had it up to 1 million. So here's about 500,000, which we've been at, and I'll put it about here. There we go. Wonder if I can get it quicker. Oh wow. Okay, there's 2 million. So I want to say again, these are how many seconds into the race we are, and they're actually meant to show up that amount of time after the race started. So we should have had go, 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 and then 1 second later, this line should have shown up. And then a second beyond that, this line, and 1/10 of a second after that, this line. Yeah. I think we can see pretty clearly he's going to win this. This is the one. The horsepowers are pretty similar at 225 and 230. the displacement. I think it's the engine size. This one has a bigger engine. But the weight, this one weighs so much less. And to have a bigger engine and to weigh so much less, it does have a higher rear end ratio. And the horsepower is pretty close. So I think that's the reason Lane 1 is doing so much better. Lane 1 passed the halfway mark on the distance. And now Lane 2 passed the halfway mark on the distance. It looks like Lane 1 has about 200 more feet, which is looking like about 2 seconds, so 17 seconds. And the question is, will it be a little over 17 or a little under 17? I'm gonna guess a little over. And we have a winner. Oh, it was under 17 seconds. And Lane 1 was under 1,100 feet. Didn't get to 80 miles per hour. And this is not their quickest race. Alright, let's go. And, so we're at 6 races to 7 races. Enter. So I'm gonna have them look at cars. Oh, see, now Lane 1 is at negative $597, so that one got like $400 or so from that race. And then another $1,861 for the car. So, alright, I'll sell the car. Okay, so here's another thing that I've learned. If you type V, it's trying to choose cars from a file that doesn't exist. The file's on, so the V is various dealer lots. But if you choose just Chevy, Ford, or Dodge, those seem to work. I haven't tried Ford yet. But I'm gonna stick with what I did before. So I'm gonna go to Dodge. There is a 1964 hardtop 415 horsepower Ram Charger engine and Torque Flight. There's a sedan, Hemi Charger, a special order car. Has a dual quad Hemi engine and 4-speed transmission. New car sticker price is $24.22. First year for the 273 V8. Has a later 361 engine, now equipped with dual quads. The body and interior are decent, but it has been run hard. What are these dual quads? Nice looking car converted to a later Chrysler Hemi. Now has a Torque Flight transmission with floor shift. Okay, so Torque Flight is a transmission. Alright, the car I want, I'm gonna choose 2. And this is Lane 2. I will look at cars as well. I'll sell mine for $22.59. That's pretty good. So this one has gotten money also, because this one was at a negative, like, over 1,000. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Chevy, and we'll do Ford at another time. Okay, Corvette convertible. This one's been on the lot for a while. If it were a super sport, it would be sold by now. A demo last year for law enforcement agencies still remains unsold. This is sad. High performance car with SS and 4-speed 4.56 posse options. A special order car. First year for the SS V8 and 4-speed options. Has original FI engine and HD 3-speed. Yeah, like I know what that means. recently taken in trade and too nice to wholesale. So, is wholesale like selling a lot? Like they just sell the group of cars, but they thought they could get more money from selling this individually on their to customers instead of to a wholesaler. Has original tri-power 348 and factory 4-speed. Oh, the salesman admits that this dealership race car is now for sale. It was built for racing in 1962, but was withdrawn because it was beating the stock 409s and hurting sales. Yeah, that's a lot of thoughts. Originally a 6-cylinder used for parts delivery, now sports a much modified 348 engine with a 4-speed and 4.88 posse. Has earlier CR 4-speed and cheater slicks, but no engine mods. So cheater slicks, I'm still guessing has to do with the tires, but it keeps sounding like it's related to the transmission. I just don't know enough about a transmission to think what that even could mean. Okay, I'm gonna go with 12. I don't remember much about it. What is the horsepower? 425. Okay, lane 1 shifts at 6,800. And this is a 375 that shifts at 6,200. And they're off. Well, we have a clear leader. Here's something. This one has 425 horsepower and this is 375. So, clearly better on lane 1. This has 426 CI to this 377 CI, so a bigger engine, as long as I understand what that means. We have 3565 pounds to 3520 pounds, so pretty similar in that way. And we have 4.11 rear end ratio to 4.88 rear end ratio, which I still don't know what that has anything to do with. I don't know how that affects anything. And yet lane 2 is the one that's winning. Is that related to the rear end ratio? Because there's nothing else that I can see that lane 1 does better. It weighs a little bit less, but not that much less. Oh wow. Lane 2 shifted and then stopped burning rubber and shifted and then later shifted again. Lane 1 has only shifted the one time. And if I understand this, lane 1 hasn't even stopped burning rubber yet. It was at 6 seconds when lane 1 took the lead as far as speed. But lane 2 is still ahead. So we'll have to see if it catches up. Oh look, it's gaining. It's only 6 behind now. They both got to half the distance between 9 and 10 seconds. And the last time they didn't even get to 80 miles per hour. Now lane 1's over 90. They're both over 90 miles per hour now. Dude, lane 1's over 100. And we have a winner. Oh look, lane 2 is now only negative 495 in savings. Alright, I'll continue. Oh, they're tied number 7 races. The thing that showed on the screen real quick, in case I don't deal with it during editing, it says something about the races under 18 seconds, races under 17 seconds, and it goes to under 13 in one spot and 12 in another, so I don't know what actually showed. And I don't remember, is it the number of races that finished in under that time? Okay, so I'm gonna have, well, since we can't modify cars and we don't want to just do the same races over and over, should we just replace cars every race now? Alright, you get 3778 for this. Oh, here. Some folks sold their used and abused hot rods and customs to buy one of the new high-performance cars Detroit was building. You may type V to look at various new and used cars, or R to look at the current selection of hot rods. Oh, okay. I'm scared if I type V, what's going to happen? It depends on what file it's meant to use, but it looks like it would be different. Enter to continue. Oh, good, okay, we got cars listed. Oh, it's a Mustang. Pontiac GTO hardtop. Plymouth Barracuda. The large glass fastback was the wave of the future. No idea what that means. Ford Galaxy hardtop. Has Thunderbird engine. 1961 Chevy utility sedan. Originally a special order car and has seen hard use, it was optioned for racing but has little resale value. 1965 Impala SS hardtop. Has highest performance 409 available and 4-speed. 1960 Ford Falcon. Appears to be in good shape. A fairly recent economy car, but not much resale value. Oh, dude, it's 85 horsepower. In one of these, I got one that was 195 horsepower thinking I would modify it, but I tried modify and that's when I found out you can't modify, nothing happens. Okay, I'm doing number 5. And I'll look at cars, cause why not? Oh look, I have negative 99 to spend. Oh, but I'm only gonna get 1444 for this car, so it's not like I'm gonna have a whole ton more than the other player. Okay, now I'm gonna type R so we can see what some of those are. There's a lot of different files in here where the cars are coming from, so we're not repeating a whole lot. And the tutorial version in phase 1 actually has the 2 players, even if they choose the same letter to, look at cars with this way or this way, they're getting different files in phase 1. I think these are the same. I think if I would have chose V on lane 2, I would have had the same cars to choose from that lane 1 had. Body is all metal with very little rust and good paint. Didn't they all used to be all metal? Unless you're saying something other than metal versus plastic. 1955 Studebaker Commander hardtop. Has been converted to a dual quad, again with the dual quads, 283 and 3-speed CR transmission. Body appears to be original and clean. Yeah, 'cause the clean really makes a difference for a racing car. 1940 Ford Coupe. Has early Chrysler Hemi with dual quads. Nice body and decent but cheap interior. A lot of thoughts here. I mean, there's a point in time when, the shape of the cars was different. Can you even put an engine from somewhere in the 50s into a 1940? But I don't know when an early Chrysler Hemi was. It could have been from the 40s. What I'm picturing might not be the 40s. I don't know. 'Cause I've really mainly seen the 50s, some random things from the 70s, and then, since I was driving. So I don't know what a 1940 car looks like. Loud exhaust may cover up engine noise. Looks good. Has 14-inch chrome reversed wheels. What is that? I think we've seen that before. I don't know if it got recorded or not, but I still don't know what it is. Now powered by a 4-barrel 390 engine. It is a clean conversion with a 3-speed floor shift. Has 3x2 barrel Olds J2 engine and Bong Warner 4-speed. Good body and paint with decent tuck and roll interior. I don't know what tuck and roll interior is either. 1954 Ford sedan, powered by a 1959 Mercury engine, a D-stroked Lincoln 430. Okay, so Lincoln Mercury is a thing. A low-buck performance car built by a junkyard engineer. Low buck meaning low cost. See, I wanted 6, but 9 is sounding good. Dude, and we're still going. I think the new version is gonna have to do these much differently. 1939 Ford Coupe. Powered by a 1957 Mercury version of the Lincoln Mercury 368 engine. Has 15-inch wheels and a 3-speed transmission of unknown origin. First time we've heard about the wheel size. Also, this proves that a 57 engine can fit in a 39 car. So my whole 50s, 40s thing doesn't work. Still going. This old coupe, 1934 Ford Coupe. This old coupe has a chopped top and painted metal flake burgundy. Has much modified flathead engine and 4-speed Borg Warner transmission. Oh, I don't know if I read that. Painted metal flake burgundy. So I saw the color and I said color does not apply to the race. He's just giving them character, and it's kind of funny, but when I read it, I did not notice the word painted, whether I said it or not. Okay, now we're done. I'm gonna choose 9. Oh, hang on. We get an engine swap. This one has $545 remaining, so I'll see what happens. We have 312 horsepower, so I'm not going under that. Oh, 350 horsepower. Press enter to continue. This is where I've messed up before. Press enter. Horsepower desired 350. It will cost you $800. You can get help installing it. You can sell your old engine for $265. Yes, make the swap. I'll probably still have a negative, but it shouldn't be too negative. Okay, I can $10 per horsepower. I have $10. So I could go up by 1 horsepower, or I could just save my $10 and use it later, possibly. I have $10, I'm not spending $100. And again, I have $10, not $125 to $175. Alright, lane 1, program to shift at 5200 RPM. Lane 2 at 5000 RPM. And they're off. Okay. Now we compare. We have a 235 horsepower to a 350 horsepower. So, right now, lane 2 is winning. A 352 CI to 430 CI. Wow, lane 2 is winning. 3667 pounds to 3312 pounds. Lane 2 is winning. And 3.42 rear end to 4.1 rear end. Lane 2. So, my guess on this one is lane 2. The question, I don't think we're going to get under the 13.88 because I think we had a 400 something horsepower before. I think it was 425. So I think we're going to get over 14 seconds. But I'll take a chance and say we'll get under 15 seconds. And from the beginning, I am wrong. Because this one already is going faster, it's higher RPM, and they're tied on the distance. But it's still early. Still tied on the distance, but lane 2 has picked up speed, and it's ahead in speed. Only a bit. Lane 2 a bit farther ahead. I don't know which race we're on. I'm thinking have lane 1 get a new car and have lane 2 do modifications. Because now we know modifications are available on this car. And we have a winner. Lane 1 had just gotten over 1100 feet. First person under 18 seconds and 16 seconds is Ek. First person under 17, 15, and 14 seconds is Ray. So we don't have 13, and I don't remember if 12 shows on here or not. We have 7 races to 8 races. Oh, and then one has negative $58 and the other has $10. Alright, look at used cars. Oh, see, now this one's gone up to $407. Why? Alright, yeah, so we're gonna look at hot rods again, since that seemed to do well. Yeah, this is the same cars that we looked at before. Okay, I'm at number 8. And I'll look at engine swaps, but I might not do it. We'll see what the options are. Oh wow, a 415 horsepower. Enter. Okay, yeah, 415. Yes, I'd like to make this swap. I have 479 to spend. Let's see about modifications again. I'll look, but I don't think there are any other options. Nope, none. So I'll look at modifications. So at $479 and $10 per horsepower, I think that's 47 horsepowers. And I'm starting at 350, which puts me at 397. I don't think you can go over. So should I try for the 400 or should I? I'll try for the 400 so we can see if that's even an option. The newer version, yeah, you can't afford that. The newer version has to only give possible options. It can't just say, oh, you could do this, and then you try it. And that isn't actually an option. Enter to continue. Oh, cheater slates, yes, buy them. I have money now. So I have enough money for a different rear end ratio, but I don't understand how it works. I saw the part about if you go over a certain number, it makes you confirm if you really want to do that or not. But last time I tried it, and I didn't go over that number, and it didn't say anything or do anything. Let's do if I put 4.11 is 1 over. Let me look. I'm starting at $279. Alright. Lane 1 shifts at 6,500 RPM. Lane 2 at 5,200. And they're off. And it did not change my rear end ratio at all, so I don't understand what that's about. If there's only certain options, then the game needs to tell me what those options are. Okay, so we have a 415 horsepower to 360 horsepower, so lane 1 is winning. We have 426 CI to 430 CI, so I'm saying they're pretty close. I don't think that would make much difference. We have 33.55 pounds to 33.12 pounds. They're pretty close. I'm not saying that's going to make a difference. And we have 3.73 rear end to 4.10 rear end. So I'm saying lane 2 is winning on that. So as far as I'm concerned, they're pretty split. At 1 second, lane 2 is ahead by both speed and distance. Also in RPM, because I'm going to say if you can get to the same speed at a lower RPM, then you're doing better, is my guess. Doing better as far as racing. Doing better as far as how likely you are to win the race. Lane 2 is really jumping ahead. Okay, so lane 2 is ahead by speed and distance, but it's also had to shift once and it stopped burning rubber already, where lane 1 is still in first gear and is still burning rubber. Is lane 1's speed catching up? Lane 1 has to be getting close to the point where it shifts, right? Okay, it shifted. And it stopped burning rubber. And its speed is really catching up. I'm guessing by 8 seconds it'll be faster. And I was right, 8 seconds and it's faster. Now it's got to see if it can close in the distance. It was 77 feet behind at 8 seconds, and it was 75 feet behind at 9 seconds. So I don't think that's catching up quick enough to win, but we'll see. At 10 seconds, it's 72 feet behind, but it's also increasing the difference in speed. 68 feet behind. And we have a winner, although lane 1 was getting pretty close. Big difference in the amount of money, and now one player is 2 races ahead. Oh, is this the end? Oh, it is. Okay, end of phase 4. Okay, so this video, I am stopping here. Thank you for watching, and let me know what cars you chose if you played this. I will see you in phase 5.